Alright, it's been a while since I've made a video, if you couldn't tell, since a long time ago. But anyway, I don't know which video is going up first, the new vehicle one or what happened to the Accord. But if you haven't seen either, I'm going to be installing fog lights for my new vehicle, which is a 2011 Tacoma. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know which video is going out first, but basically I bought a fog light kit for the Tacoma, yellow tinted, obviously it had to go that way. This is the second order, or my replacement order I got from Amazon. The brand is DNA Motoring. They didn't send me a switch the first time, and then the replacement one they sent me this switch, which is not an OEM style like the description says, but I have another switch coming tomorrow. But till then, I'm gonna get the rest of this installed and get as far as I can today. So yeah. So already off the bat, the Toyota World forum says that these trucks already have wiring harness for fog lights. I don't see one, and the order I bought already comes with harnesses, so I'm just gonna install these. I'll probably put in a wiring diagram of how I'm gonna do it. There's one for this fog light, and then I also have the Haynes book. Probably not going to do it the OEM way, just because when you turn on the high beams on these, it cuts the power to fog lights and low beams, and I kind of want these on when I want them on, so might be wiring them a little different. Alright, and this is what the OEM harness looks like, for the OEM wiring diagram for this truck looks like. Right here is the fog lamps, so I need to look in here for an engine the fuse box relay for the fog lights, which goes to another fuse or switch, which I believe is what I'm going to be installing. Or no, it goes right here. So there's another relay right here that I'm installing, which goes to this fuse in the engine bay. But that's the OEM harness. And then for the fog lights that I bought, they came with this wiring diagram, which isn't too different, just displayed differently. But I'm probably not going to wire it the same way. I'm going to wire it to constant power, likely. Alright, looks like there is no fuse that goes into this for the fog lights, so I'm going to have to tap into something else, likely. Alright, since we don't have everything, we're going to take the main harness, or harness A according to our kit, which is the side with the bulbs, and we're going to ground it right here to a piece of metal in the engine bay. I'm not going to do it to the battery because I don't think that looks as nice, but we're going to try and follow our kit's way with some modifications because we don't have everything to do the OEM way, which wasn't going to happen anyway. Alright, so this is the ground. I'm probably going to put it into this bolt right here underneath this nut or bolt. Yeah, I'm probably going to ground it right here. And then before we get everything else installed and plugged in, I want to get the lights plugged in, get the switch put on, and actually see if this harness works. Alright, and as you can see, I just have it tucked right under there, underneath that bolt, and then we'll get the rest of it plugged in so we can see if it works. Okay, I apparently had this wrong. So there's two positives right here. I'm assuming one for the switch and one for the harness, so this is not correct. But this white one and this red wire need to be on power, and then I have the other ground right there where it's supposed to go. But yeah, that's my mistake. Alright, and after correctly wiring it, we have everything set up, bulbs are plugged in, and we'll put the battery back on. Alright, battery's connected. We're going to take our little positives over here, connect it to the car, and already the switch is turning on. So now let's see if the rest of the bulbs will turn on. I'm going to set the phone over here. Alright, and we're going to turn on the pods. Hey, they turn on, both of them do. Alright, so now that we know it works, we can get the rest of it wired up correctly. Alright, so we disconnected the battery again, took off our two grounds, got rid of the positives, they're sitting down here. We're going to remove these fog light covers, install the fog lights, and then get the harnesses plugged in. So for this harness, the short plug-in for this side goes to the driver's side, and then there's a longer side that reaches over to the passenger fog light. Alright, so right there's the new fog light. And then to pop it out, you just take like a screwdriver, push down on this tab, and then it'll pop right out, which it basically did. And then to get under the bumper, just take off this 10, and then there should be one right here. Then you can move this out of your way a bit. Then right there, you just push down on this tab, that tab right there. Bolts are out, so now you just grab the bumper. Holy fuck, grab it. And this one comes down. The other one you have to pop up because there's like a tab on the other side of this. And then I just tuck it in here so it's out of my way. I don't have a screwdriver with me, but I have this trim removal tool that I use to get the other side out. So we're gonna, there we go. There we go. And then you just push out. Or you might need to get the other side. This one's being a little bit more difficult. Yeah, I bet I can push it out. Oh, there you go. Okay, so don't push on this. There's a hole right here that you just push straight through. All right, and then this is the fog light that's going in. So the bulb can't be readjusted because the thing's asymmetrical. You might be able to get other bulbs, but I'm not. Pretty sure this is to adjust where the bulb's shining, so don't worry about that for now, but you're gonna put it in like this. So the side I'm holding goes down, and then these tabs right here go on the side. Then we have the other one over here that's already installed. All right, so after getting that one installed, make sure that this clip here is all the way through and clipping out. And if you need to pop it out, you just press down on it. Make sure that's inside. Make sure this little hinge piece there is inside, and then I can't see from here, but that side is also installed, so we are good. All right, and then after it's installed, I like to peel it afterwards, if I can. All right, and then now they're both installed. We're gonna get the main harness plugged in, and then it will be time to put the switch in. All right, so after following the OEM harness that's already in the truck, we're going to route the wires through here, through there, following the regular headlights, which then branches off here. This is the driver's side that's gonna fall down there, and then under the radiator cover, we're gonna pop this off and then make the passenger fog light wire fall through here, get it nice tucked. All right, and then be careful doing these ones, or any of these trim popping ones, because if you have an old brittle car or an older car with these are likely going to be brittle. I just broke this one, it exploded, but I have some extra ones in a bag in the garage, so I ain't too worried, but just be careful because you might snap these. All right, after this row's been taken off, broke two, I'll replace them, but we can just fold this back, and I'm pretty sure, oh, I see. So we come stand on the side here. It's running behind there. So we can probably try and zip tie it and then run it over the support. Yeah, we can totally do that. But that's what we're gonna do for the passenger side. All right, so we unhooked our ground, which is chilling up here. I put it through that little retainer right there. Our driver's side harness or lead is going this way, out the side next to the headlight. And then if you come under here, we just have it plugged in right there. And then on the passenger side, we have our lead tucked under here, which we need to zip tie. But underneath here, keeps going, right here, drops down, and then plugged in at the bottom, right there. All right, passenger side, wire plugged in over through here, like so. And now that both fog lights are hooked up, we're gonna pull back the harness a bit, give it some more room for the switch side, and then we'll zip tie everything down. All right, we have the harness tied down, so that goes there. We have it tied, actually, where is it? I just used the pre-existing holes to tie this one down. This one is tied down back here using a non-used hole here. Right here, it's connected to the existing harness that goes to the horn. Same thing right here. And then down here, just connected to the existing harness, and then existing harness right there as well. I haven't trimmed these yet, but now I'm gonna try and get the switch harness through the firewall, through there, that grommet, and then I'll install the switch. All right, so step one to taking off the interior, take off those little footrests. Just grab it here, push backwards. And then there's a little screw right there, this black piece there. Oh. This black piece right here, I'm just gonna unscrew that. Next, I'm just gonna pull this back. lift up. Get that out of the way. I'm gonna grab this piece right here, get it off the pillar. All right, now that this is exposed, we're gonna try and get this off, this whole panel right here, and then we'll be able to line up the grommet. All right, so after removing this 10mm from here, the trim for this just pops out. I use my hands to pop out, and this door comes down. We gotta remove this 10mm, and then we can pull out this whole section. All right, now that we got our little dash piece down, we're gonna disconnect all these wires, get the cable to the hood latch disconnected, along with TPMS button at the bottom. All right, after we got everything disconnected, I broke part of my hood latch right here, so be careful doing that. I'm probably gonna end up replacing that in a different video. All right, now that the interior is ready, we have our coat hanger straightened out. We're gonna stick it through this grommet, and then we'll pull the other harness through it. All right. Where is it? All right, after finding out our old grommet back there has a bunch of old electrical tape around it, we're just gonna cut the electrical tape, open up the grommet, and then we'll just seal it back up when we're done, because right now this is what's sealing our grommet. All right, what I originally thought was a grommet boot back here, I'll just point it out there, but it's just a bunch of electrical tape surrounding the grommet, so we're gonna keep cutting it back until we can get through the grommet. All right, we got the harness going through the grommet. As you can see, it's coming out. We have it connected right there, zip tied down. We're probably gonna shorten up this slack here, but for now, so next step, we're going to use our multimeter to find out which one of these fuses has power constantly. And we can also see over here, after you take off the piece underneath the steering wheel, it gives you a map right here. So we're gonna tap into our power outlet and our door lock. Those are the two ones that I've already tested that have power. If you wanted it for, let's say, only when the car's on, you would tap it into accessory, which would have power when the key's on. So, well, because we don't have because we don't have any of these left, I use these in the Accord for a hardwire kit for the dash cam. We're going to cut these, do some janky ass wiring into these fuses until we get some new connectors. All right, we just have it sitting right there on the seat. Moving my multimeter. So both of these cords right here, they need to be to constant power. We're gonna cut them, take out the fuse, and then put them back in with the wire installed with it. So we're gonna take these wire cutters, cut them out, trim the jacket insulation, and then we will install it. Now, if you don't want to do it like this, I would put this in the engine bay, connect to either power or something like that, but I like my stuff to be neatly tucked in the cabin, so we're gonna cut this. So start with cutting. There we go, wire's cut. And then we're going to trim the jacket back. Ow, all right, there you go. Now that that's exposed, we're probably gonna need to expose it more, but let's get the white one cut as well. There we go. There we go. And now we have our wire exposed, so let's get this connected. All right, now we're gonna take this, which is the power outlet fuse, pull that, and now we're going to do this. We're gonna probably put these on different fuses, but we're just gonna place them together and then place the fuse back in. So I'm probably gonna get this cut a little bit more. All right, now that it's more exposed, we're just gonna put it like that and then plug it in. All right, so we have our wire placed in there. We're gonna insert our fuse, only to realize that the wire's in the wrong spot. All right, now that that's installed, we're gonna take our multimeter back, test and make sure that it's actually getting power from that wire. So if you don't know how a multimeter works, it measures how much voltage, amperage, and others. Well, I have a different kind where it tests multiple things. But you basically plate this on the ground, and then you take the positive placed on that wire, and then we see if it has power. And it looks like it actually did work. So, oh fuck, can I even see if I can do this? I'll place this one on the seat bracket, see if we can get it to work. Then we place this one on the wire, which you can't see. So we place it right there. And it's showing we're getting power. Oh, it's starting to beep. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing for this fuse here, just rinse and repeat. All right, after they're both plugged in, we're gonna install a switch. You install it where you want. I have mine pulled behind this dash piece, and then I popped out this cover. It's just chilling here, so we're gonna get plugged in, see if it is functional. All right, so after plugging in the switch, it's already lighting up. So we're gonna press on, and our fog lights are working. Good shit. Leave it on, I'll run around here. Confirm driver's on, passenger is on. Now we gotta put everything back in, tuck the wires. And actually, I'm gonna leave these how they are for now, because I'm gonna get more of these little fuse tapping things, so that way we can actually wire it properly. But we will tuck the rest of this and make it look nice for now. All right, after tucking the wires with a zip tie back there, I also changed where the switch's power was going to. So I put it on this auxiliary one. That way it wasn't constantly having the power light on. But I'll probably switch it back to a direct source of power once I get some more fuse taps. All right, everything's tucked back in. The wires are right there, but I'm gonna take it back out later to put in the new switch and install the fuse taps. But that's how you do that. All right, we got the switch wired in. So we got the red and yellow powered to this blue cable. Black is grounded to the black. And then our blue wire is connected to our white wire. All right, I redid my wiring harness location and have this white wire still connected to constant power through this fuse. I reorganized my harness, tucked it back over here so it looks neater. And now we're gonna put the trim back together. All right, and then before I put the trim back in, I taped back up the grommet back there. That way it's more sealed and secure. Okay, after the inside has been put back together, I'm gonna adjust the lights so that they're not shining too high, but I'll do that later tonight because it's way too bright to do this. All right, it's a week after installing them, and this is how they look. Anyway, that's how you install fog lights on a 2011 Tacoma. Just watch this video, I guess. Thank you, bye-bye.